And we are live back again with week 5 predictions of the 2021-22 English Premier League. And I have a wonderful guest with me today, longtime collaborator of the channel, Doug from the Dugout Football channel. The link to his channel will be in the description box down below, so make sure you go check him out and subscribe. Doug, how are you feeling today?
I'm doing good. Thank you very much for having me. And I know it has been a while. We've both been working non-stop, but it's nice to get together and do this. So I'm looking forward to it.
Definitely, Doug. It's nice to link up again, man. And last season was something, but this season it seems like it's gonna be even better. There's fans back in the stadium. The rules have been tweaked a bit. We have all this international football. We have the Champions League, and it's just football non-stop. I don't know how we're keeping up. I don't know how the players are keeping up, the manager. I don't know how the clubs are keeping up, but some way, somehow, we're making it happen. So before we get into this week's Premier League predictions, I know you have your predictions ready. I got mine ready. I'm ready to discuss these matches. But we just had some really good Champions League games. Champions League match day 1 completed, and there was a few upsets, big upsets, laughable upsets, and there was a few shock results, few expected results, but all in all, I think we were fully and thoroughly entertained. How are you feeling about the Champions League opening match day? Liverpool, maybe a United. How you feel about the opening week?
Well, I think it's safe to say all the other English teams won, except United. I still haven't stopped laughing about that, honestly. I thought City were very clinical against Leipzig. 6-3 in the end could have been a lot more, but attacking play I thought was fantastic, and it's really nice to see Cancelo get on the score sheet. I know that Cancelo's been one of those players who's been sort of in and out of the team recently, but I like how the way Pep and Klopp actually used their squads the other night. We had Gomez come in, we had Keita come in, and we even had Origi came in as well. So I like how they're using their squads, which is the best thing. And plus, obviously, you've got 3 games in a week coming up very soon as well, with the Carabao Cup coming as well. So lots of rotation will be needed.
Well said, Doug. A lot of football to be played, and that'll be the key. How the managers rotate, how the managers use their players. And as you said, Klopp and Pep did it well. We know Tuchel has been doing it well. And Man United, I don't know. You see what I'm saying? I don't know what happened there. You could see the results. We just taking a look at the results for the Champions League game as we warm up for the Premier League match week predictions. Young Boys 2, United 1. Doug, could you kind of grasp what happened there, or are you still trying to understand what really happened in that game?
Well, obviously the red card changes things, but you'd have to argue before the red card. I know Man United took the lead, but I thought Young Boys were absolutely terrific in this game. I thought they really took to Manchester United, and I actually think United played really, really poorly. I think Ollie made too many changes. There's a time where you can basically make changes, but if you make too many, then that's got a big problem, I think. But I'm gonna say something which I think I'm gonna probably regret. But you look at Chelsea, you look at Liverpool, you look at City. Chelsea have got Tuchel, we've got Klopp, City have got Pep. United have got Solskjaer. No disrespect to Ollie, right? But he's lost 7 out of his 11 Champions League games, right? David Moyes, for example, he only lost 2 out of his 10 games. I think he is out of his depth in the Champions League. I think he is out of his depth. And the reason I say that is you can get all the best players. You can get Varane's, your Sancho's. You can even get probably one of the greatest of all time in Cristiano Ronaldo. But if you're not a good manager who's not got a plan B, I actually think that Manchester United are going to struggle. And actually, if Solskjaer does not win a trophy this season, I think he's gone.
Well, you couldn't have said it better, man. Listen, you said he's out of his depth in the Champions League. I think he's out of his depth at Manchester United, because since he came in, nothing. They haven't won anything, and all the money they've spent and the prestige that the club has is just laughable. If I want to keep, it's just laughable. And to lose to young boys, no disrespect to young boys, but you do not lose to young boys of Burn. You just don't
No.
lose to them being Manchester United, having Cristiano Ronaldo, Pogba, Bruno Fernandes, you name it, in your team. You don't lose. A draw would have been a more respectable result, seeing that they went down to 10 men. It's an excuse. But
Yeah.
a loss, man, come on, man. Like, come on. That's not the right way. But just to run through the other results before we get into the Premier League predictions. Sevilla 1, Salzburg 1, Kiev 0, Benfica 0. Bayern Munich, oh man, 3, Barcelona 0. I don't know what's going on with Barcelona, man, but let's see how they perform against the other teams in Group E, being a Benfica and Dynamo Kiev. Villarreal 2, Atalanta 2, Lille 0.
Sorry, did you see in the Dynamo Kiev Benfica game that Anthony Taylor actually gave a red card to a Dynamo Kiev player, and he didn't have a first yellow, so basically someone had to tell him about it, so he had to rescind the red. Dearie me, Graham Paul all over again.
I'm telling you, man, the regular English referee shithousery. That's what I call it. Because I don't see how you don't know if you give a play. You're the ref. You're a very experienced ref, and you don't know if you give a player a yellow card already in the game. I know the mistake could be made, but come on. In a Champions League match, come on, man. You got to do better than that. But big up to everybody in the stream right now, guys. Make sure you smash the thumbs up button. Say hi. We don't bite. Talk to us. Let's go. Barcelona, I don't know. If they don't get a result against Benfica or Kiev, we could see Barcelona drop into the Europa League or even not stay in Europe. And that's something that I don't think has happened in the last how many years. You see what I'm saying? Not even, like, I don't even need to look at the history to know that this team goes on to the next round every single season. You see what I'm saying? Or probably win their group every single season. And this is horrible stuff, man. This is horrible. We thought we saw young boys. Yeah, Barcelona. They were young boys. So many youngsters, so many academy players on the bench, and they can't carry on like this. It's embarrassing. Villarreal 2, Atalanta 2, Lille 0, Wolfsburg 0. You had Malmo 0, Juventus 3, Chelsea 1, Zenit 1. And on Wednesday, Zenit 0, pardon me. Chelsea 1, Zenit 0. Should have been 1-1 though, if Zuba had actually gotten a better touch on that ball. I don't think Chelsea played to their best in that game, and it should have been a more convincing win, but Zenit held their own. Besiktas 1, Dortmund 2. That was a good game. Jude Bellingham. What are your thoughts on this guy, Jude Bellingham, man?
Oh, he's incredible, isn't he? I think he's been fantastic for Dortmund. I think he's been one of the bright sparks for them this season so far. And yeah, I mean, we've been linked with him, but the thing is, I can't see us paying 80 million for him.
That's how much they want for him?
That's how much they want for him, presumably. Yeah.
I think he's worth it, though. I think he's worth it.
Mm-hmm.
But if he goes to Bayern Munich, they'll probably only have to pay about 25 million for him. See? That's the thing.
Yeah.
That's the crazy part about it. So
it is, but I think it's. Don't be surprised if a Holland lands up at Bayern either. Don't be surprised. It's what Bayern Munich do. They buy the best players from the with the greatest of respects to their rivals. They bought Sabitzer from Leipzig, and you look at who they've bought from like Dortmund in the past. Obviously Lewandowski, Mario Götze, Mats Hummels as well. So don't be too surprised if a Holland ends up at Bayern soon.
Yeah, I won't, man. They wanna dominate the world. Imagine Haaland and Lewandowski in the same team. Oh man, Sane, Gnabry, all of these guys, Coleman. They can't fit him in. But it's just ridiculous, man. They'll just continue to dominate the Bundesliga for decades to come if they continue like this. So the other game, Sheriff with the big upset, 2-0 over Shakhtar Donetsk. Club Brugge won. Paris Saint-Germain won. I think that's an upset as well, seeing you have Messi, Neymar, and Mbappe in your team. Like, you can't beat Club Brugge. Any thoughts on this one?
It was a surprise, it was, but I think the thing is, the Paris have a very, very good team, but the problem is defensively they're still very, very short, I think. But credit to Club Brugge, I think they did very, very well yesterday, and to get a 1-1 with Paris Saint-Germain, it's Man City have managed to get the upper hand in that, obviously with a 6-3 win, and already, Paris and Club Brugge and Leipzig already on catch up, really.
Yeah, well said. Man City 6, Leipzig 3. I'm thrilled with the result, but not with the 3 goals conceded. Well done to Christopher Nkunku. That was a brilliant hat-trick. Not many hat-tricks are scored against Man City. Just know that. And to get one in a Champions League game, that was big. So just keep him on your the radar there. Who knows? Man United might actually sign him next season. You never know. But I'm happy with that 6-3 win, with the exception of the goals conceded, because we were absolutely clinical on the day. I like that Jack Grealish, he's getting in the act, picking up assists, picking up goals. And it just feels good, man. It's just like, it's justified. The price tag is justifying, you know what I mean? Like, I don't even think the price tag should be a question. People have been questioning why we pay that much for Grealish. He's worth every single penny. He's worth the peas, man. That's what I want to say. He worth the peas. Atletico Madrid 0, Porto 0. Porto should have actually got a goal. I don't know what that was with the Taremi thing. I don't know if he hands the ball, but even if he hands the ball, he should have gotten a penalty for Oblak. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I don't get that one. That was a strange decision. Really, really strange decision. So big up to Mike, who says big up to Dom and Doug. Soon head into the Conference League game between HJK and LASK. So I won't be here the whole time, man. Enjoy yourself. It's nice to have someone in here who's actually going to watch the Conference League. You see what I'm saying? Tottenham will be participating in the Conference League today. Guys, if you haven't yet, smash the thumbs up button and make sure you do so. A link to Doug's channel will be in the description box down below. We're going to get the show started pretty soon. We're just warming up with the Champions League results. Real Madrid won late in the game, Inter 0. Good win for Real. Eduardo Camavinga coming up big with the assist. What a player. What a signing. Ajax 5. Goddamn. Sebastian Haller with 4 goals. Sporting 1. That kid Anthony, look out for him next summer. He's gone. And the big one, Liverpool 3, AC Milan 2. What a game, man. Liverpool went ahead. Could have went 2 ahead. Salah missed his penalty. Then AC Milan roar back with 2 goals. And Liverpool came back in the second half, to come from behind to win the game. What a strike by Jordan Henderson. What a dink pass by Divock Origi. I thought he was rusty, you know what I'm saying? And Salah with the finish. How you feel about this win, briefly?
Briefly, it's a fantastic win. I think it was a game where we should have probably been more than about 1 up. 1-0 is always a dangerous scoreline. We saw it at the weekend against Leeds, once we went ahead, they had a couple of half chances. Ailing should probably score. The more it's 1-0, it's always a dangerous scoreline. So the fact that they got 2 quite far goals didn't surprise me. We didn't take our chances in that first half, but went in a half time, regrouped. I think getting the early goal in the second half was very, very crucial. And then that Henderson strike, it gave me a bit of Gerrard vibes the way he struck it. But it's a great win, and fair play to Milan. I think Milan played really, really well. A lot of good players in their team as well. Frank Kessie was one that really stood out for me. I thought he was excellent.
Yeah, Rafael Leao was brilliant, man. In the build-up to those goals, you got to give it to Leao, man. He really, really ran forward and had Fabinho basically trying to catch up, you know what I mean? So Liverpool got to work on those things, though. They look kind of suspect on the counter, you know what I mean? When teams catch them on the counter, they look very, very suspect. So there's things got to be worked on, of course. But They got the 3 goals, and they got the most important thing, the 3 points. Big up to the boy Dave. Nice to see you around these
Hello, Dave.
parts. Nice to see you. Hope you're having a great day. So, look, Doug, without further ado, let's get into these Premier League predictions. We ain't got all day. We got our wives to go and, to go and hang out with and things like that. So, and I know you guys have things to do as well. I know it's fun hanging out with us, but we got to get this thing done. So let's talk Premier League, man. That lovely royal purple. Let's talk Premier League. The first game that we're going to start with is the Newcastle United versus Leeds. Newcastle in 19th with 1 point, Leeds in 17th with 2 points. That game is coming up tomorrow. And to be honest, both teams kind of in a hole right now. It's a hard one to gauge. So I think this one is going to be a little difficult to predict. So the last game between these, the last game they played, Man United 4, Newcastle 1, Leeds 0, Liverpool 3. In terms of last season, Leeds won both games. First one, 5-2. Second one, 2-1. So they have a very, very good record against Newcastle United lately. I must note that, lately. Before that, Newcastle, they had the upper hand. You go back to 2016 in the championship. They had a 2017 a draw, 2016 a win. And the last time they had lost to Leeds was back in 2002. So the record a bit tarnished after Leeds came back in the Premier League. What are your thoughts for this game here, Doug? Your initial thoughts?
Wow, it's a tough one to predict. Let's put it that way. Look, I think Newcastle without Callum Wilson is a big worry for me. The lack of I know they scored against Manchester United. I thought they contained Manchester United pretty well in that first half. I know obviously Ronaldo scored in the 45th plus second minute. But United did have chances to score. To be fair, Newcastle did as well. Willock had a very good opportunity. He blazed it over the bar when he should have done better. So, Newcastle are actually getting in the right positions. They're getting into good areas to create chances. And, big up to, obviously, Javier Manquillo, obviously ex-Liverpool as well, scoring the equaliser at Old Trafford. But obviously, it was in vain in the end. Leeds, I honestly am worried, Dom. I don't know about you, but I'm very worried about Leeds. I don't know if it's this second season syndrome that's really, really coming to fruition, but you've seen it happen to Sheffield United. Sheffield United went down last season. I'm not saying Leeds are going to go down. I think Leeds are too good to go down. But then again, people have said that there are teams that were too good and they actually did go down. I think it'll be a very tight affair, this one, but I'm actually going to go for a shock. I'm thinking Newcastle are going to get the win.
Don't give away a prediction too quick there, but you've given away a prediction, but I wasn't ready for that yet. But still, you predict Newcastle to win. But before I get to my prediction, I just want to actually share some things for the viewers, the listeners, just share some more insight. I have a few questions for Doug as well. Doug, you spoke about second season syndrome here for Leeds, and I actually had that written down to ask you. Do you think we could actually see it happening, though? You talk about it, but do you see it actually happening? Great season last year, teams figuring out how they play, their style of play. Just, they always attacking, they always left open. Do you see a situation like Sheffield really happening? I know you mentioned it, but do you see it happening?
I think there's probably 3 or 4 worser teams down there than Leeds. So I think Leeds will be okay, but Bielsa needs to change his ways. They looked very open against us last week. I think they played that 4-1-4-1 that Bielsa likes to play, but Calvin Phillips was very isolated in that midfield, and Rafinha was tracking back, Harrison was tracking back. Rodrigo, I honestly don't know why he started in that game because he was shocking. And defensively, they have not improved since last season. Fair play to Bielsa. I like the way that Leeds play, but he needs to change his ways when he plays against the top clubs. I think against clubs like Newcastle, maybe it'll benefit them. But looking at it, I don't think it will. I don't think the second season syndrome will happen. But I can see Leeds struggling. I don't think they'll be in any relegation trouble, but they definitely need to start winning games very soon.
Well said, well said. Another question I have for you. Should Newcastle sack Steve Bruce before it's too late?
Yes, he's out of his depth in Newcastle. Out of his depth.
Short and sweet, right? Yes. Get straight to the point, man. You know what I mean? But these teams haven't started well. Leeds are yet to win this season with 2 draws and 2 losses. And Newcastle are yet to win with 3 losses and a draw. Before I let you know my prediction, I just want to share some insights for the viewers on these teams, some Google insights. And the first one reads, Newcastle lost both league meetings with Leeds last season, having lost just one of their previous 11 against the Whites with 7 wins and 3 draws. So you could see the shift here in power, where Leeds have been playing better football lately than Newcastle. And that's a fact. We saw that last season. Newcastle struggled, and they're already struggling again this season. So something has to change. They change players around. Definitely, maybe it's Steve Bruce, or maybe they need to get the club sold. Maybe that's the dark cloud that's looming over Newcastle, you know what I'm saying, on their fans. So Leeds are looking to win 3 consecutive league games against Newcastle for the first time since October 1967, while they haven't won back-to-back away league games against the Magpies since April of 1958. You're talking about when our dads and our moms were born. You see what I'm saying? For the older guys, actually. So some unprecedented things are happening to Newcastle. Whenever you start seeing that, you know there's a problem at the club. 3, Newcastle have only failed to score in one of their last 15 league meetings with Leeds. Winning 8, drawing 3, losing 4, going down 0-2 at home in September in 2002. Leeds have alternated between defeat and victory, 3 each in their 6 Premier League away games played on Fridays, with the Whites beating Fulham 2-1 in their last such match. And this is a very good stat because we know Leeds are a team, they win one, they lose one, they win one, they lose one type of team, you know what I'm saying? And the last one, Newcastle have conceded more goals than any other Premier League side this season with 12, while the Magpies also have the highest XG against figure in the competition this term, 10.5. So, look, my prediction for this one, though, I really don't know where it's going to go. So I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw. I'm not convinced by the way Leeds are playing. I'm also not convinced by the way Newcastle United have been playing. But both teams, I think Newcastle have a more pragmatic style of play than Leeds do. So I could see them defending when they need to and breaking on the counter with guys like St. Maximin, guys like Miguel Almiron. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going for a 1-1 draw for this game. I think that's a fair assessment of both teams here. 1-1. And you're going for what? What's your prediction here?
1-0 Newcastle.
All right, so you're going for a Newcastle win. So good results for Newcastle. Leeds, I'm just not convinced by the way they're playing so far this season. I think they're all over the place in terms of players playing that position. Not a player, you know what I mean? You'll have these guys playing all over the place. One week they're in defense, the other week they're in CDM, the next week they're right back. It's just not enough, like, you know what I mean, continuity in the Leeds team, in my opinion. So we have Jordan coming in with a 2-1 win for Newcastle United. Really appreciate that, Jordan. Thanks for sharing your predictions. If you guys have any more predictions in the chat, please let us know. But we are going to move on to the next game. And that game is Wolves versus Brentford. So Wolves versus Brentford. Let me try to actually get this on the screen so you guys could actually see, some stats and some squads and all these kind of things. So Wolves versus Brentford here. The last game for Wolves, they picked up a 2-0 win over Watford on the road, and Brentford lost at home to Brighton and Hove Albion. In terms of the last time these teams met, has to be in the Championship, of course, because Brentford has not been in the Premier League since God knows when. So the last meeting was a 3-0 win for Wolves in the Championship, and before that, a 0-0 draw, and 2 other wins for Wolves. So they have been doing well against Brentford. Brentford has 3 wins in their last 10 games against Wolverhampton Wanderers here. Doug, what are your thoughts here on this rather low-key matchup?
I'm going to be honest. I think if you look at Wolves' games all season, Leicester City, Tottenham, and Manchester United, they shouldn't have gone away empty-handed. They should probably have 3 wins. I mean, they beat Watford last week. Should be 4 wins. You know, they've been very, very good. And I think the signing of Hwan Lee Chan, I think, is going to help Jimenez for sure. Brentford, I've been very impressed with Brentford. I think they're very, very equipped for the Premier League. I thought they were unlucky to lose last week against Brighton. I think Brighton have started very, very well, but you look at Brentford and 2-0 win against Arsenal, followed up with a 0-0 against Crystal Palace as well. I think Brentford will be fine in this game. But I just think that
don't share your prediction yet. Don't share your prediction until a little later, right? So, yeah.
But I honestly think that this is a very hard one to call again.
Yeah. Question for you: Do you actually see Brentford surviving the drop this season?
100%, yes, I do. I think Ivan Toney is a very good player. I think Mbeumo is a very good player. Sergi Canos as well. Got to give a shout out to Christopher Ayer as well. I know him from his time at Celtic. So I think Brentford have got some players there that can actually do very, very well. So yeah, I think Brentford will survive pretty comfortably.
Well said, well said. This would be the first time Bruno Lage and Thomas Frank are playing against each other as managers. And all-time results for these teams, 10 matches, 5 wins for Wolves, 3 for Brentford, and 2 games ended in a draws. Wolves' home record, 5 matches, 1 loss, 1 draw, and 3 wins. So I think the key for Wolves is just continuing doing the good things that they have been doing. They're playing some really good football, very attractive football under Bruno Lage, a different style than what Nuno played. I like the look of Francisco Trincao on loan from Barcelona. They probably would have needed his help this season, judging from what we saw against Bayern Munich the other day. But Ruben Neves and Joao Moutinho, these guys remain a constant. I just think Adama Traore need to do a lot better in front of goal. And Raul Jimenez needs to get, psychologically, I don't think he's there. You see what I'm saying? I think something's missing from his game because of that head injury as well. But you can't blame him. You really can't blame him. The players got to step up and they have to bat their manager, or else if the bad results keep coming in, he could get sacked very, very early in the season. As you said, they weren't bad in their previous 3 games, lost all of them 1-0. And they probably should have picked up at least, let's say, 2 wins, or let's say, shouldn't have lost any of those games, in my opinion. So I think Wolves would be all right. I don't see them coming top 10 like they did when they first came back to the Premier League. As for Brentford, though, it's kind of difficult to call because they started well. They started the season brightly, but I don't know. You see what I'm saying? It's like that loss in that last game. You could start seeing a slide here for Brentford, if I'm keeping it real. They won the first game, draw the next 2, lost the last one, and I don't know, man. Seriously, I think we could see. I think we could start seeing teams getting the better of Brentford going forward. In terms of some insights I want to share with you, Wolves have won 3 of their last 4 league games against Brentford, drawing 1, winning 3-0 at at Molineux in their last such meeting in January of 2018, even though that was in the second division. Brentford have won just one of their 5 away league games against Wolves in the 21st century, drawing 1, losing 3, winning 2-0 in a championship match in October of 2015. None of the top flight meetings between Wolves and Brentford have been draws. 5 wins each, with Brentford winning home and away in the last campaign in which these sides met in the top tier back in 1946-47. Since their return to the top flight in the 2018-19 season, Wolves have won 6 of their 8 home league games against promoted sides, drawing with Sheffield in 2019-20 and losing to West Bromwich Albion last season. Wolves' 2-0 win at Watford last time out ended a run of 6 straight league defeats. However, Wolves have lost each of their last 3 home league games, last having a longer run of league losses at Molineux in October-November of 2016-4. Doug, what's your prediction for Wolves versus Brentford here?
I am going to go for a Wolves win. I think they'll be boosted by the fact that they managed to get that win last week, and I think that will spur them on to victory in this one. I'm going 2-0 to the to Wolves. My
prediction 2-1. 2-1. So I think we're spot on here. Let's see. Don't let us down, Wolves. Ow! Don't let us down. Come on. Wolves' next game would be against Tottenham in the 3rd round of the EFL Cup. And in terms of their Premier League fixture, the next Premier League fixture will be on the road to Southampton. As for Brentford, their next game will be against Oldham Athletic in the 3rd round of the EFL Cup, and then they play Liverpool at the Brentford Community Stadium. I actually did not let you guys know who Leeds United and Newcastle will play next, so I'll just slip that one right in. For Newcastle, they will play Watford on the road, and for Leeds United, their next game will be against Fulham in the 3rd round of the EFL Cup, then they play West Ham at home. Big up to everybody watching the video right now. Big up to Carl Headley. Thank you very much for tuning in. Sean Virgil, thank you very much. We're good. Just an early Thursday morning stream talking about the league we all love, the Premier League, doing some predictions. Jordan Hyman coming in with a prediction, 2-0 to Wolves. Thank you very much. If anybody else have any predictions to drop, please leave it in the chat. We'll definitely appreciate that, man. If you haven't yet liked the video, make sure you do so. And don't forget, a link to Doug's channel will be in the description box down below. The Dugout Football channel. You guys should know Doug. Most of you guys familiar with Doug already. But if you're new around here and you don't know who Doug is, make sure you check out his channel for weekly Premier League predictions, podcasts, so on and so forth. Doug, we're going to move right on. We're going to keep the ball rolling. And the next game we're going to touch on some small games to start out with. Norwich versus Watford. And these teams... why you laugh? Why you laugh?
This game could go either of 3 ways. Norwich win, Watford win, or a draw. Honestly, it's one of the hardest fixtures to predict this week.
Yeah. It's not like I had to actually think hard about who I'm gonna predict to win this one. But I got one. I got an answer for you. I got an answer. Definitely got an answer. So look, let us talk about this one. Norwich, they lost 1-0 to Arsenal, and for Watford, they lost 2-0 to Wolves. In terms of the last meeting between these two teams just got promoted from the championship, by the way. So definitely familiar with each other recently. Norwich versus Watford last season ended 1-0 win for Watford on the road, 1-0 win for Watford at home. And in the Premier League, when they last met, because I think these teams got relegated the same time, if I'm not mistaken, they got 2019-20 season. Yeah, 2019-20. So Norwich lost both their league games against Watford as well. The last time Norwich won against Watford was in 2016 in the Premier League, 4-2. And they enjoyed a better run prior to those 4 consecutive losses against Watford FC. Doug, what are your brief thoughts here and on this meeting?
Um, I mean, Norwich are not the one for trying, are they? I mean, they've obviously had a very tough start to the season. I mean, look, I think having Liverpool, City, Leicester, and Arsenal in the first 4 weeks in the season is always not going to be very easy at all. But you look at this Norwich side, and yes, it's a good squad. It's not a great squad. I think the recruitment, I think they could have done a lot better. As well, like Josh Sargent's a good striker, but whether he can hit in the Premier League, I like Rashika, one of West Werder Bremen's best players when they went relegated last season as well. Watford started well, and then they've gone a run of 3 games without a goal. So it's I would say this is a 6-pointer
Yeah, it is.
early on in the season.
Doug, I actually have a question for you, and it says, is this already a relegation battle 6-pointer? I kid you not.
100%.
I kid you not.
100%.
Because these teams, the way they've started the season is just weird. Because Watford, they started with a win, even though it was a 3-2 win, right? And then they lost the next 3 matches. And they could well lose this one too. But for Norwich, they have lost all 4. And I heard you said they're a good team. Norwich, average. I'm not even going to pretty it up. I'm not going to be kind. Average team, bro. Transfer dealings, average. I like Zolis. That's about it. All the other ones I think might be they're reaching. They're just average signings. Josh Sargent, don't rate him. He's out with injury as well, so that might be a blessing in disguise for him. Sorry, Josh, but I just don't rate you. You see what I'm saying? So this one, man, ain't really got a lot to talk about with this one. Let me just give you guys some insights on this one so you could get a more clearer picture of what's going on here. Norwich have lost each of their last 4 league meetings with Watford, with both meetings in the championship last season finishing 1-0 to the Hornets. Watford have won 6 of their last 9 away league games against Norwich, losing 3, as many as they had in their previous 40 visits to the Canaries, right? So you could see the shift here. You could see how Norwich have basically like declined. In the Premier League, Watford have won 3 of their 4 meetings with Norwich, losing 1, with the Hornets netting exactly 2 goals in all 4 games. Norwich have lost each of their last 14 Premier League games. Do I need to repeat that? Norwich have lost each of their last 14 Premier League games, scoring just twice and conceding 35 goals in this run. Watford have lost 9 of their last 10 Premier League away games, drawing 1, including each of the last 8 in a row. Each of the Hornets' last 4 away wins in the competition have been against sides eventually relegated that season: Cardiff and Huddersfield in the 2018-19, Norwich and Bournemouth in the 2019-20 season. And it goes back to where you said this game could go anyway. And my prediction for this one, 2-1 to Watford. What's yours?
1-0 Watford. Simple as, really. I honestly can't see where Norwich's points are coming from anytime soon. I really don't.
And as you guys can see, we have the Premier League table right there on the screen. You can see where Watford are. You can see where Norwich are. And that's just to give you an idea what these teams are going through right now at the start. It's not too, I gotta say this, it is not too early to get the sack. Because if we go over to the Serie A, Cagliari have already sacked their manager, and Hellas Verona have already sacked their manager as well. They ain't playing no games over there. I think the Premier League clubs are a little lenient, they're a little cautious. But I won't be surprised if Xisco Munoz get the sack in October if he doesn't improve the results. As for Daniel Farke, that guy is safe. He's safe. You see what I'm saying? They're not going to sack him unless they want to take it in another direction. Big up to Mike who says Norwich 3, Watford 1. Yeah, I think Mike is always going to be a little biased for Norwich, seeing that Timo Pukki plays for Norwich. So I'll keep predicting this until Norwich get relegated. Very funny, man. Very funny. Oh, man. You know what? Lame Albert, bro. You know what? I've had enough of you, bro. You see what I'm saying? I've had enough of you, bro. That's a little thing for you right there. I've really had enough of you. So, Koza Clapper coming in with the prediction. Watford to win 2-1. Jordan Hyman 3-0. Thank you guys for sharing your predictions. I really, really appreciate that, man. If you guys have anything else to add, please let us know before we do move on. For Norwich, their next game is against Liverpool in the EFL Cup. I'll talk to you about that one a little later, Doug. And then they have Everton in the Premier League. So they'll, two Merseyside teams. Let's see how they do. In terms of Watford, their next match will be against Stoke City in the EFL Cup third round. And then they play Newcastle. Winnable games for Watford for them to get their mojo back. The thing about Watford and the reason why I predicted them to actually beat Norwich, Ismail Assar, Emmanuel Dennis, these guys are looking good. These guys are looking like they mean business. I'm telling you, they're really looking good. And I could go with more names, but these are the two standout players I think are gonna make a strong impact here for Watford. He's gonna take a lot. It's gonna take a lot to handle him. Let me just put it up. Let me just put it like that. Who's ever left back is gonna have a torrid time on the day. Torrid time. Looking forward to see what Danny Rose does, Musa Sissoko as well, Josh King as well. But two standout players, Emmanuel Dennis Bonaventure and Ismail Assar. So we're going to keep this one moving. Big up to everybody in the stream right now, guys. Make sure you smash the thumbs up button. Do appreciate that. Let's get the stream up to about 30 thumbs up. We have 40 plus people in here. Let's get the likes up in the stream. Appreciate that, man. Doug, we're going to move on. And the next fixture I have on the billing here is Burnley versus Arsenal. This one is a huge game, man. And we know it's huge because Burnley are currently struggling. Arsenal are currently struggling. They both need wins. And it's not a 6-pointer per se, but it's a 6-pointer right now. Because Burnley, no wins yet this season. 3 losses and a draw. And for Arsenal, 3 losses and a win. In the last game, Burnley lost 3-1 to Everton, a game I actually had to rewatch Tuesday morning. That was a very good game. Big up to Everton. I actually did not talk about that one before, but I will talk about it when I get to the Everton match a little and hear your thoughts, your brief thoughts on that one. For Arsenal, they picked up a 1-0 win over Norwich City. They needed to win that one, and when their backs were against the wall, they got the job done. In terms of last season's meetings between these two teams, last game a 1-1 draw at Turf Moor, and Burnley won away at the Emirates 1-0. And the previous season a 0-0 draw. But before that, it was all wins for Arsenal. So, yeah, you could see where things are heading, man. You could definitely see where things are heading. Doug, what are your thoughts on Burnley versus Arsenal here? Initial thoughts.
Well, don't know if you noticed, but Sean Dyche has just signed a new contract with Burnley until 2025. So there's no chance that he's going to lose his job. And anyway, Burnley are loyal to Sean Dyche. But that capitulation at Everton must be a concern for Sean Dyche. They looked very, very comfortable against Everton. And then all of a sudden, Everton made a very inspired substitution, actually. Andros Townsend was a very, very good substitution. And then, they managed to lose their way a little bit. Arsenal are just average. Average at best. The way that they played against Norwich, if Norwich had taken their chances, Norwich would probably win that 2-1 because Pukki had a good chance. And also, Kenny McLean had a header just wide as well. And they managed to win it 1-0 in the end with a Aubameyang, but I am not convinced by this Arsenal side to any stretch of the imagination. And I think, to only beat Norwich 1-0 must be very, very concerning if you're an Arsenal fan.
Yeah, I think they were the better team on the day. They were just not taking their chances, though. And even the goal that they scored hit the post, and it almost didn't happen. So, it's a tricky one. It's a really tricky one, seeing that the way Burnley started, they have to win. They really have to start getting wins under their belt. And I actually had a question, and I didn't realize that Sean Dyche signed a new deal, but today's the 16th. This just was announced, so I haven't really got my scoop of news yet for the day. I usually do that when I'm chill and I have a little time to relax, and I haven't done that yet. So thank you for bringing that one up. I actually was going to ask you that, is this the year Burnley gets relegated and they part ways with Sean Dyche? But it seems like they have no intentions to part ways with Dyche. But the first part of the question it's still there. Do you think they get relegated, regardless to if they've been investing in their squad, bringing back Aaron Lennon, bringing in Maxwell Cornet, and they have made a few other signings. I think Nathan Collins is a signing they made, right?
Yeah. So, Nathan Collins from Stoke, yeah.
Yeah, so they're showing intention that they want to actually freshen up the squad and they want to move forward in the right direction. But they're not moving in the right direction so far. They're moving towards the bottom of the table. That's what's been going on. So the fact that they have Dyche still at the club, it seems like they want to continue in that they want to play the same style of football they've been playing. It's been working for them. They have a brand and everything, and it seems like that's the direction they want to take. But who knows? Who knows? Let's see if they survive. Do you think? Wait, did you answer the question though?
No, I don't think no.
Do you think they'll get relegated?
I mean, they finished 17th last season, and I think Burnley do always have a result in them. I'll say that now. They always seem to have a result in them. So I think because of the unpredictability about their results, I will say that they will just survive again.
Well said. Do you know what? Arteta has never beaten Burnley nor Sean Dyche. 3 games played, 2 draws, and a loss. So that is something to actually keep in mind there, though. Let's not forget that one. You know what I'm saying? So this is a big one. I think Burnley have to get their act together and start scoring. And they really have to start picking up wins, especially at home. I have some insights to share because these are very, very important. But I have a question before we get into the insights. Do you see Mikel Arteta steadying the ship at Arsenal?
No. Honest, no. No, I don't. I would be very surprised if he sees the next international break. Honestly.
Wow, that's a big call, Doug. That's a huge call, bro. I'm telling you. But for some insights, after a run of 10 consecutive league defeats against Arsenal, Burnley are now unbeaten in their last 3 against the Gunners, winning 1 and drawing 2. And those 3 games were oversaw by Mikel Arteta. Arsenal are unbeaten in the last 9 away games against Burnley, winning 4 and drawing 5. Last tasting defeat at Turf Moor in December of 1973. We know lately a lot of records, unwanted records, have been broken by Arsenal. It could be happening again. I just want to put that out there. It could be happening again. Burnley are winless in their last 12 home league games, drawing 6 and losing 6. Their longest run without a victory at Turf Moor in their league history. So they also have their problems too, and they also have their hurdles to get over. Burnley haven't kept a clean sheet in any of their last 7 Premier League games, losing 6 of these and drawing 1 and scoring just 3 goals in the process. They need goal scorers. They need the guys like Wood and Barnes and Rodriguez and Vidra and McNeil and these guys to Brownhill has not scored. They need these guys to put the ball in the back of the net, and that's a problem for Burnley. Big time problem. Arsenal had 30 shots in their 1-0 victory. I repeat. Arsenal had 30 shots in their 1-0 victory against Norwich last time out. More than they'd managed in their first 3 Premier League games this season combined, 29. It's a good sign, but it's a worrying sign. You can't score. Doug, what's your prediction for this game?
Well, I've kind of just said that Arteta won't see the next international break, but I see Arsenal winning this game. That stat about Arsenal not losing at Turf Moor is quite staggering. So I think it might be another one that's potentially last on like one of those highlight shows, but I'm going to go 1-0 to the Gunners.
I have Arsenal winning this game 2-1. I don't see them losing to Burnley. I think they're going to get their confidence back slowly but surely. And against the teams that they're supposed to pick up victory against, I think they absolutely, it's imperative that they do so. And I think they're going to do so. I think Mikel Arteta has been on the phone with Pep Guardiola. He has to. And Pep's probably whispering something in his ears, just giving him a little help. I'm pretty sure he has to call up Pep. You know what I mean? Off the clock, though. Off the clock. Like, hey, Pep. Let's meet up for some coffee, bro. You know what I mean? I need some help, bro. You know what I mean? I need some help. Me, hermano. Ayúdame, por favor. So, look, Kosa Clapper, 1-0 to Arsenal. Michael with the 0-0 draw. Jordan, 2-0 to Arsenal. We have Michael saying, I just want to see Cornet for Burnley. Yeah, I want to see what he's going to bring to the table as well. But Burnley, they really got pushed over against Everton, man. It was a come-from-behind victory for Everton, but those are some good goals. We're going to get to that game pretty soon. So Elias is saying, I have to back my team 2-1 to Arsenal. I didn't know you were an Arsenal fan, Elias. That's actually nice to know. But big up to everybody in the stream, guys. Let's get the likes up. Smash the thumbs up button if you're yet to do so. Let's get the stream up to 30 thumbs up. Just look at yourself and say, wait, have I liked the video? Oh, shoot, I haven't. Okay, bam. Easy, simple. Let's keep it moving, man. Look, we're going to touch on this big game. Usually, I leave these games for the back end of the stream, but I'm not going to do that. And then we exert all our energy, and then when we get to the back end, we ain't got no energy for these games. But let's talk about Manchester City versus Southampton. Man City coming off of a thrilling 6-3 win over RB Leipzig in the Champions League. We did touch on that a little earlier. The players may be a little fatigued going into this game. Pep talked about that the players would be tired, and he urged the fans to come out in their numbers. Doug, to be completely honest though, are you part of this whole thing that City don't have enough fans coming out to their home matches and things like that and all of that? Do you believe in this whole thing?
I think it's something that's obviously been sort of thrown about on sort of football Twitter. I personally, I'm not in any of that nonsense. In all honesty, because City will have loyal fans from like the the 70s and the 80s, like the main road people. They'll have them as well. But yeah, I'm not into this narrative that City have no fans or anything like that. No, not into that.
Doug, I don't get the narrative. You know why I don't get the narrative? Because the Etihad has a capacity of 55,000, and every time I check the stats, there's over 50,000 people there. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you check Anfield's capacity, it's around the same, maybe a little less, and it's full. So I see the Liverpool people are saying, oh, City don't have no fans come out to watch the games or whatnot. But if you check the statistics, City do have more fans than Liverpool fans coming out to watch the matches, according to the stats. You see what I'm just saying? The stadium may have a capacity of a certain number for football, but it has a bigger capacity for things like concerts. I did a little bit of research. So when you see like an empty section in the stadium, it's not for football. It's not for football. So I don't think they're selling tickets for those areas in the stands. If you don't believe me, if you're watching this right now and you don't believe me, go look it up. Man City Stadium has more capacity than many of the other stadiums in the Premier League. You see what I'm saying? Which means at any given time, there always 15 to 25,000 more people at the Etihad than at the other stadiums. So I don't get the whole narrative. I really don't get it. Man United, they have a 75,000 seater. It's full all the time. Great. They have the biggest stadium. Tottenham, they do have a good attendance as well. I think the attendance is fine for all the freaking clubs, all of them. So I don't get this thing why people always try to undermine City's success. And you always find that. You do well, people would find something to pick at, some shit to talk about, in my opinion. But look, man, let's talk about this game. I'm done with my little rant there. Man City defeated Leicester 1-0 in their last game. That was a road match, and Southampton and West Ham United played to a 0-0 draw. I spoke about the Man City win over RB Leipzig already. 6 goals scored in that game. The last time Southampton met Manchester City, City won the game 5-2. And last season, the double, 1-0. But the previous season, Southampton did pull a shock winner, that Che Adams goal, 1-0. But before that, it's all green for Manchester City. All green. 34 total Premier League results. 20 wins for City, 7 wins for Southampton, 7 draws. Hasenhüttl, 6 matches against Man City, 1 win. That win we just spoke about. Against Guardiola, 8 matches, 1 win, 7 losses. It has not been pretty for Southampton against Manchester City. Just want to put that out there. There's a 6-1 result back in 2018, and I could go on and on and on, but I won't. Doug, what are your initial thoughts on this match?
Could be a long afternoon for Southampton, if I'm being honest. Look, I think the one thing I can say about Southampton is that they are playing well. They're just not getting the results. Against West Ham, I thought they were the better team. I think they hit the upright, they hit the post, I think they hit the bar as well. They had one clear off the line at the very, very end as well. I like Hasenhüttl as a manager. I think he's a very, very good manager. But you look at the City side, and there's class oozing around it. Obviously, you've got pictured, Benjamin Mendy there.
I'm just messing with you.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Let's not even talk about him. He'll be in jail until next year. Just want to, for people who don't know, he'll be in jail, denied bail until next year when his trial is. This is just sad. But anyways, whatever.
Yeah. I think the way, the way you played against Leicester, I know Leicester had their chances, but you have to say it was a champion's performance against Leicester. You might not have played the best, but you got the result in the end, and I think that was the main aspect about getting that result was you have recently struggled against Leicester recently, so it was good. It was obviously good to get that win, and obviously nice to see Bernardo Silva on the score sheet as well.
Doug, you're stuttering a bit when you're talking about City, bro. Are you nervous when it comes to Man City? Are you nervous that we're gonna go on to take this title again or something, man?
I'll be honest with you. I predicted City to win the league at the start of the season.
Yeah, so, I could remember your predictions, bro. I actually think that was a solid prediction, and I have a question for you, right? And this is a really good question. I ain't got nothing to really talk about in terms of Southampton because they're a team that anything could happen. Do you think there's more pressure on Chelsea and Manchester United to win the league title than there is on Manchester City now that these teams have spent the money, brought in big players, and their fan base, and even the football community have been talking them up? What are your thoughts on that one?
Chelsea bought Lukaku for one thing, and that was to score goals. I think Chelsea bought Lukaku to win the league. So yes, for Chelsea, I would say yes. For Manchester United, they are not winning the league without a CDM, right? Because you can get Ronaldo, you can get Sancho, you can get Varane. Yeah, that's all jolly and that's all fantastic. But that position is CDM. Fred, he is one of the worst passers in the Premier League. I honestly cannot believe how Manchester United fans big him up as well. Could he have done better in like a Pep side? Yes, I think he probably would. But in Manchester United, I really just don't think that they've not got the manager, they've not got the nous to try and win it as well. So I think the thing is, I think if Ole gets top four and doesn't get a trophy, I still think that will get he'll keep his job, unfortunately.
Yeah, you can't win the title with Fred Flintstone in your team, man. It ain't gonna happen. Have you noticed something though, Doug? Every time City are interested in a said player, United always go in and swoop the player, right? Even other teams. And it never works out. It never works out. Another thing I've noticed, Manchester United, we have this term in the Caribbean that we call bad mind. They're so bad-minded that Jesse Lingard did so well at West Ham. If you were happy for the player and you wanted to see the player do well, you would have said, Jesse, go do your thing, spread your wings, and fly. You see what I'm saying? Fly like a falcon. They said, you know what? Hell no. We selfish. Jesse, you got your mojo back. You're staying at United. He should have been allowed to go to West Ham United and do his thing. Play in the Europa League. Just get his thing back. You see what I mean? Play every week from the start. At United, he won't be starting. He won't be starting, especially since Cristiano Ronaldo back in the team. He won't be starting. And that incident in the Champions League, that back pass, that's gonna haunt, that's gonna hurt poor Jesse. I'm telling you this. It's not his fault. He should have never got on. He's not in the right psychological mind frame. I'm telling you this. He should have never been allowed to go on. You see what I mean? And you don't take Cristiano Ronaldo off in a Champions League game unless you're like you're 3-0 up. You see what I'm saying? If you're 4-2 down, you keep him on. Solskjaer, I don't know what the hell you're doing. I don't know what you're thinking, but I'm pretty sure that most of us in here could do a much better job than Ole Gunnar Solskjaer with little to no experience. I know this. We're going to go and we're going to play FIFA with Manchester United and we're going to win. We're going to win games because we're going to do smart things. Ole, I don't know what's going on. Seriously. As a matter of fact, I think Ole might just be some type of like cadabra or something, you know. Seriously. Seriously, he might just be there for show, and it's probably somebody else managing the damn team. I don't know because
well, put this way. If City got rid of Pep today, if Liverpool got rid of Klopp today, if Chelsea got rid of Tuchel today, if Arsenal got rid of Arteta today, how many of them would go for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer? I can guarantee you, none of them would go for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. He is at best a mid-table manager.
None. He's a championship level. He's a where's he from again? Sweden?
Norway.
No, yeah, he should go managing the Norway.
And that's another thing. When he was manager in Molde, he had Erling Haaland in his side. They went to Glenavon and they lost 2-1.
Exactly. He needs to go back to the Norwegian second division. That's what it is. That is what it is. Look, Doug. Look, we're not going to be super long here. I have some insights to share, but these insights are very, very, overwhelming. Overwhelming in terms of pointing towards Man City winning the game. Manchester City have won 8 of their last 9 Premier League meetings with Southampton, with the exception being a 1-0 defeat at St. Mary's in July of 2020. That was Project Restart, right? No fans, you know what I mean? Weird game. After winning 3 consecutive away league games against Manchester City between 2001 and 2004, Southampton have lost 9 of their last 10 visits to the Etihad, drawing once. Saints have only failed to score in one of their last 16 away games against the Citizens, but also haven't kept a clean sheet in any of their last 11. Look, these stats are, I'm telling you, listen to this, right? Listen to this. Southampton are winless in their last 6 Premier League games, drawing 3, losing 3. Drawing each of their last 3 in a row. The last time the Saints had 4 consecutive draws in the top flight was March of 2002. But none of Manchester City's last 30 Premier League games have ended in a draw, with the Citizens winning 25 and losing 5 since a 1-1 draw against West Brom last December. Only once before have they had a longer run without a draw in the league history, going 31 games between October 2018 and August 2019. Doug, what's your prediction for this game, bro?
Comfortable City win, 3-0.
Bro, I think you're being real kind to Southampton. I'm going for a 6-1 win, bro.
Oh, 6-1.
6-1.
Wow.
Listen, we put 6 past Leipzig. We put 5 past Norwich. How many? We put 5 past Arsenal. We put in 6 past Southampton. I'm telling you, if we score less than 5 goals in this game, I'll be surprised. I'm really going to be surprised because Pep rotated for the Champions League game. Fresh legs are going to come in. No striker, 6 goals. Remember, I told you this. It might be 9. Who knows? This might be the game where they concede 9. I'm not saying they're that bad, like how they've been in the back in the last season. But when you come up against Manchester City, it could get real ugly. But watch we go on to lose this game now. You see what I'm saying? Watch we go on to lose this game. So in terms of the next games, man, let's just touch on the next games. Manchester City will play Wycombe Wanderers in the 3rd round of the EFL Cup, and then the big game against Chelsea next Saturday. Oh, my God. That one is nasty. Yeah, that's big. That is big. Look for my combine 11 for that one. Southampton will play Sheffield United in the 3rd round of the EFL Cup, and Southampton will play Wolves in their next game. With that being said, big up to everybody in the chat. Make sure you guys smash the thumbs up button. Let me know your predictions for this one. We have Koza Clapper coming in with a 3-1 win for City. Big up to the boy Jersey boy in the house. Elias is saying Matt Fred won't win the title. Unfortunately, bring you the title, unfortunately for them. Mr. Egan Downey, I don't know if I'm pronouncing your name right, 5-0 to City with the potential for 9-0. It's time for the traditional 9-0 against Southampton. Mahrez will score a hat-trick. Man, listen, Doug, when I watched a Champions League game yesterday, and I'm like, God damn, we don't have a striker, and you have Mahrez, Grealish, Ake coming in with the goal. You have Bernardo Silva, who could chip in with one, who won the game against Leicester. Gundogan, Kevin De Bruyne, Foden. It is going to be very different. I'm just going to put the message out here now. I'm going to put it out in the universe, or put it in a bottle, let it float around. Whoever find it, get it. It's going to be difficult to take this Premier League title away from Manchester City this season. I'm just going to put it out there. So I know Chelsea, the hype is there. United, the hype is there. Liverpool, always there and about. But for Pep, do not trust this guy, Pep Guardiola. I just want to look at how the man is talking to Grealish and Mahrez last night. 6-3, they're winning the game. Pep don't care. Pep don't care if he's winning the game. It's how he's winning the game. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think 6-0, fine. He ain't got nothing to say to those guys. But Mahrez and Grealish wasn't helping out enough in defense. And I think that's what Pep was really mad at. Zinchenko and Ake needed the help from Grealish, and he didn't offer that. So Grealish, he's going to get the memo, and he's going to add that to his game, I'm pretty sure. See what I'm saying? So we're going to move on to the next game. We have a lot of games to go through. The next one we're going to talk about is a big one. I'm doing it a little different today. I'm going to talk about the big one. Let's talk about it. Your game, Liverpool versus Crystal Palace. Ooh, game number 6 so far. And then we're going to wind things down with the other matches. Leeds United 0, Liverpool 3, Crystal Palace 3, Tottenham Hotspur 0. So both teams won 3-0 in their last games there. In terms of last season, in terms of the last, 8 games between these two teams, Liverpool have won all 8. Last season, a 2-0 win at Anfield, a 7-0 win at what's that stadium name again? Anyways,
Selhurst Park.
Yeah, Selhurst Park, 7-0. This one could get very, very fugly. I just want to put it out there. It could get real fugly, man. Doug, talk to me here. Patrick Vieira versus Jurgen Klopp, the first time these teams are meeting each other. Jurgen Klopp, 10 games against Crystal Palace. 12 games, 10 wins, 2 losses. Talk to me.
Yeah, look, I think I watched both games last week. I thought Crystal Palace, even before the red card for Dangang, I thought Crystal Palace were absolutely superb. And what a wee arrival for Odsonne Edouard to make his Premier League account. 27 seconds after coming on as a substitute, he makes it 2-0 to Crystal Palace. And to be fair, like, I think we're probably seeing now the stuff that Patrick Vieira wants to get across his side. He's not a Frank de Boer. Like, people are throwing that rubbish about Patrick Vieira being another Frank de Boer, but Frank de Boer didn't win a game. Patrick Vieira has now won a game, and ironically, it was against Tottenham as well.
Yeah, that was a good display, though. I think that would put a lot of confidence into the Crystal Palace faithfuls, seeing that they're playing some attractive football. They have a sense of direction. While with Roy Hodgson, he was more of a manager that's always going to get the job done. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like that old man at your job. You wonder, why do they keep him? But little do you know, he's loyal and he gets the job done. That's what he's always going to show up to work. He's going to show up on time. He's not going to complain much. And he's not really going to mess around with the ladies on the job. You know what I'm saying? And he's not going to steal company time. That's what you get from Roy Hodgson. But with Vieira, you're going to have some flair. And you could see by the players he brought in. They went and they got Odsonne Edouard from Celtic when Arsenal has been linked with this guy. And he comes and what he does, score twice off the bench. It looks like a Vieira masterclass, and I think it is. I think it really is. The players look like they're backing their manager, and they want to actually maybe get into the top 10 this season. I know maybe it's a long shot, but I won't be surprised. I really won't be surprised if Crystal Palace gets into the top 10. But playing Liverpool might not be the way they're going to get it done. Just want to put it out there right about now. Doug, I got a question for you, bro. How do you think, I know you talked about Vieira before, but how do you think Vieira has done so far? And in your opinion, how do you think he'll do ultimately at the end of the season?
I think he had a tough start with against Chelsea. I think Chelsea were very, very good in that game. He played against Brentford. That was a 0-0 draw. But I look at Palace and I think they've actually got a very, very good side ahead of them. I honestly think that they'll be comfortable. I don't see any relegation trouble for them. I think I had them about 12th or 13th this season. So I wouldn't be too surprised if they finish in that position. But for me, I think they'll be fine. I think Vieira is now getting his ideas across, and I think Palace will be okay. Palace will be safe.
Yeah, you could see, I think Crystal Palace is now playing a 4-3-3 formation. They brought in guys like Anderson, Guehi, and you have Conor Gallagher from Chelsea on loan. He's been the best player, in my opinion, so far this season. Yeah. Kouyaté, you know what I mean? He's finally gone out from the centre-back position, and he could now strut his stuff just in front of the centre-backs. Still have MacArthur there, Zaha, with that flair. I think Zaha was really good in the last game, though. And I think the Tanganga whole thing with Zaha is the type of player, and Liverpool has to be very, very careful of this guy, Zaha. He's going to get under your skin. Trent Alexander-Arnold, look out for this guy. This guy's going to get under your skin. You'll probably want to push him if we see a situation where, Zaha likes to do things like that. It's always something with him. Remember, recently he spat at someone, and it's like, I don't know what it is with this guy, Zaha, though. I think it was Sholeto. Ezekiel Shaleto, Brighton versus Crystal Palace a couple seasons ago. So he'll get
Yeah.
under your skin, and he has that quality to hurt you as well. Just want to put that out there. But the player to watch is, of course, Hudson Edward off the bench. You know what I mean? They have Mateta as well. He didn't feature in the last game. Maybe he's injured. They showing a lot of intent. Michael Olise was brought, and a youngster there. So big up to Crystal Palace, man. But Doug, look, I want to get to the tougher questions, and that's why I wanted to get this match in early in the segment. Talk to me about Liverpool's title chances. I know in your initial prediction at the beginning of the season, you did not have the Reds winning the title, but what's your stance right now that the season have started and we saw what every team is gonna actually bring in terms of their arsenal, not Arsenal FC, but the arsenal, you get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
the players they brought in and everything.
It's look, I think it's all about injuries for us. We've got a very good 11 and then maybe 12, 13, 14 players. And then after that, it's the quality on the bench that is the worry. We've got as I've said, we have a very, very good first 11 and then probably, 3, 4 players after that. It's just, we've got a lack of depth up front now. Midfield, we're packed. We're absolutely packed for that. And then centre backs, we are packed. God forbid we are. We're packed there. Goalkeepers, we're packed. So if a Mane or a Salah or a Jota get injured, then we're back to square one. I mean, you have to. Obviously, Harvey Elliott is now injured. You've got Minamino, you've got Origi, who, to be fair, Origi played very, very well last night. I thought he was excellent yesterday. As you said, he was a bit rusty. Came off with cramp as well. It's all about injuries for us. Yes, the reason I did not predict us to win the league is because I look at City's squad, I look at Chelsea's squad, I look at United's squad, and they've managed to strengthen in positions where we haven't. And I think that the window for us was all about getting players signed up for new contracts. But yes, I mean, you can do that whenever like you can do that in any time of the season as well. So I think it's all about injuries for us. If we can keep Van Dijk fit, we can keep a Salah fit, we keep a Mane fit, then I think we'll be fine. But I think we'll just come up short because of the African Cup of Nations coming up in January. We lose Mane, we lose Salah, and we lose Keita as well. So, but I do think we'll just come up short. And it was a realistic prediction, if I'm being totally honest, because City have got the strength and depth. Chelsea have got a lot of strength and depth in Tuchel, and I think we always struggle against low blocks as well. So when you're playing teams with a low block, we always seem to struggle. You look at the Chelsea game when they went to 10 men, defended very, very stoutly as well. So I think we can. Look, the one thing I said in that video was, I hope we can challenge at least. That's all I want, is to challenge, because last season was a season like no other, basically. We had 22 centre-back partnerships, which is absolutely mental. But to finish third, considering we were 8th with 13 games to go, was incredible. So as long as we're, a few points behind or anything, then we can say that we at least challenged, and then it can build up for next season.
Well said, man. I appreciate you answering that question, though. I think you touched on the fact that Chelsea, Man City, Man U, their summer spending have eclipsed that of Liverpool's, and that may have given them the advantage. And when you look at the fact that Harvey Elliott was promoted from the U team, he was out on loan, but he was promoted. He was like a new signing for Liverpool, and then that horrific injury that happened against Leeds. So it brings the summer signing down to one, Ibrahima Konate, and we haven't even seen him yet. So, and you did mention the African Cup of Nations. I think those guys would miss about two games, 3 games tops. So it won't be a big deal. But as I said before, 2 games could be a big deal because if you look at, City won the title by 1 point, and let's say those players are not available, and you come short a few points. You could come short of a few points of the Champions League places or even the title. So these are things, man. I think I was actually one of the first persons on YouTube. I'm gonna take credit for it. That says the key to Liverpool doing well this season is keeping players fit. I said it while I was on vacation in August, and I meant it. And it's coming to fruition. I'm not wishing bad on Liverpool, but the club needed to bring in players in order to have backup. Because if you look at Chelsea, City, United, maybe not United but Chelsea, City, there's a lot of redundancies there in terms of certain positions. Maybe for City, it's not the left back, but for Chelsea, surely they're left back, all positions for Chelsea. So I think that's where Liverpool could come up short in terms of their title challenge this season. Look, I want to do something in advance here. I want to talk about the game coming up against Norwich City, Doug. And I have a question for you. Will Klopp take the Carabao Cup serious this season? And I want you to give your prediction for this game. It will be away to Norwich, so that's something to factor in at Carrow Road. You won't have the Anfield faithfuls there, at least not in their full capacity. And let me know your thoughts on this Carabao Cup game, because this is a competition Liverpool has faltered in over the last couple of seasons. Thoughts?
Again, it's all about keeping, players fit. But I like the rotation that Klopp did the other night. I think you'll see a full 11 against Palace, and then I think you'll see a lot of changes for the Norwich game, for the Carabao Cup game. I mean, even if we don't give it a wee go, I can still see us beating Norwich. In all honesty, my prediction actually for that is 3-1 Liverpool. I think we will win. I think we'll probably see Kanate. We'll probably see Gomez. We might see like a Neco Williams. We'll see a Tsimikas. We'll see potentially a Curtis Jones, James Milner, maybe a Keith Gordon, somebody
Minamino.
of that ilk as well. Minamino. I still think our squad should be good enough to beat that Norwich City side. I fully expect us to beat Norwich.
Well, I do think Norwich will rotate as well. They have a Premier League match this weekend, and that's a big game against Watford. So they would rotate. But I actually have to say, you guys got to be very careful of this Norwich team, because this is not the Premier League. This is a cup. This is a cup game. And if they're not able to compete in the league, I think they'll really push for this cup just to keep their morale up. And we see this happening in the past, where teams don't do well in the Premier League but have a nice little cup run. I don't have a prediction yet, but I want to say I won't be surprised if Norwich beat Liverpool, seeing that Klopp are going to rest key players. There's big games coming up ahead, and he may just put out a youthful team, and it could work out like in the past where the kids have done very well, but it could actually backfire. But you guys play Brentford next, so who knows, some of the big guns might actually feature in this game. You have Porto coming up, and you have City. So I don't know if Jurgen Klopp want to risk too many of the big players, because you have crucial matches coming up in the Champions League against Man City. You have Atletico Madrid coming soon in October. You have Manchester United. So let's see how it goes. So you fancying a win against Norwich? I don't even know how this one's gonna turn out, but you guys should be all right if you put out a strong enough team.
Yeah.
But if you go in with a youthful type of team, I think Norwich would get the victory here. But thanks for sharing that, guys. Let us know your thoughts on that in the comment section below. So, Doug, we're going to keep it moving. We spent a very long time there talking about your beloved Reds. And I just want to get to the prediction section here. I'm not going to go into the insights for this one. I want to hear your thoughts in terms of who you think will come out victorious in this match. Liverpool versus Crystal Palace.
Well, good wee thing that we're playing at 3 o'clock, because the last 3 o'clock game we played against Crystal Palace, we won 4-3. So I'm hoping that it is not anything like that. I think we will win. I'm actually giving Palace a goal because I think they will pose a big threat at Anfield. But I'm going to go 3-1 to Liverpool.
Well said. Well said. Unfortunately for me, this game is going to be a little difficult to actually follow because City will be playing Southampton at the same time. I will have 2 screens. I'll try my best to watch both games because I like to review the Liverpool matches as well. I've been reviewing the Liverpool games since I think when you guys got to the first Champions League final, and I've been doing it ever since. So I think the Liverpool fans love to hear when I talk about Liverpool anyways. Right? You're watching this right now? Yeah, right? Yeah, I know. So I do have a 2-0 win for Liverpool. I don't think you guys will concede. I think Virgil van Dijk gives you that insurance policy back there, him along with Matip, if Matip does feature. I think, Trent Alexander-Arnold, very good going forward, but he has to keep working on his positioning, though. I talked about him last night in my live stream, bro, and I showed some clips, and I'm telling you, Trent was at the same position for both goals, running back, finding himself ball watching, helpless in those 2 AC Milan goals. And a lot of times when teams score against Liverpool, it's down that side. It's down that side. Trent, bro, I know Liverpool fans rate you highly, but you are not a defender. You are a winger and a midfielder. Even Southgate showed us recently. You're a midfielder and a winger. You're not a defender. If you want to be rated as a defender above guys like Reece James and Kyle Walker and co, up your defensive side of your game. So he's been trying, to be fair. But I think it's going to be 2-0 to Liverpool, though. Let us know your prediction in the chat before we do move on. So in terms of the next games here, Liverpool, we did talk about the fact that they play Norwich City and then they have Brentford in the Premier League next week. For Crystal Palace, their next game will be against Brighton and Hove Albion. Then they play Leicester. So winnable games, in my opinion, for Palace. But let's see how it works out. I like what Vieira is doing so far. Just want to put that out there. So in terms of predictions, let me see if anybody's dropping any predictions. Big up to the boy Ankit in the house, who says, I still feel Liverpool would miss a Wijnaldum kind of connecting player in the midfield. And the AFCON effects too. I think the AFCON, 2-3 games. Liverpool would try to actually, do what they have to do to rectify that situation. If it was 5 games, then yeah. But I don't think the AFCON will be such a big deal. But as I said, a few points could make a big difference. So, Robert Hippolyte is saying, come on, Dom, LFC BT will wash Norwich easy. Let's see. Mike is saying 4-2. Liverpool, I'm off, boys. All the best, bro. Have a good stream. All the best, bro. Enjoy the game. I wish I was there with you, to be honest. Ankit is coming in with 3-1. Liverpool over Palace. Big up to Owen Dilworth in the house. Thank you very much for coming through. I look forward to watching Edward and Gallagher. Yeah, and Kit. Yeah. Jersey boy coming in with the news. Very sad to hear about Nathan Ake's dad passed away yesterday. I didn't actually know that. I might actually have to drop a video on that on more Dominic Rich FC. Chase Athletics, thank you very much for coming through. Guys, make sure you smash the thumbs up button. Do appreciate that, man. The stream did get off to a slow start, but it has picked up big time. So I appreciate everybody who came through, man. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate that. Make sure you like the video. We need 10 more thumbs up to get to 50. I will definitely appreciate that. So we're gonna move on to the next game, and we down. We're going down in terms of today's stream. Down is a good thing, though. You know what I mean? We're winding down, I should say. We're winding down. So let's talk a bit about Aston Villa versus Everton. But before we do, Doug, Everton picked up a 3-1 victory against Burnley there. How you think they look? Did you watch the highlights of this game? Did you see what went down?
Um, they weren't great in the first half, but in that second half, they completely blitzed Burnley aside. Um, I do feel they struggled without Dominic Calvert-Lewin, though. I think they were missing that vocal point up front. Richarlison did his best. He was crunched by Tarkowski as well. But I was very impressed with Everton, and I think Rafa's getting his ideas across to Everton. And as I said earlier, he made an inspired substitution with Andros Townsend coming on.
Listen, Townsend was big in that game, man. You know what I'm saying? He was big. That was a great goal. I'll tell you. You know, Townsend with that left foot, man, he packs a punch. You know what I'm saying? And big up to Demarai Gray, man. What a signing he has been.
Yeah.
He has been scoring for fun. Really good signing. I think Leicester, the situation got sour over at Leicester. He was part of the Premier League title winning team and never worked out with Brendan Rodgers. But I think Demarai Gray was always a quality player with the speed, the skill, and he's now showing us that he's clinical in front of goal. Way clinical than most players, man, like an Adama Traore comes to mind. So, look, in terms of Aston Villa versus Everton here, this was another very, very tricky fixture to predict. But in terms of their last matches, 3-0 loss to Villa against Chelsea, and Everton with a 3-1 win over Burnley. Last season, Aston Villa and Everton played to a 0-0 draw at Villa Park, and Villa got the better of Everton at Goodison Park. And it's been like that for the last 2 seasons where there's been a draw and a win for Aston Villa against Everton. So they've been getting the better of the Toffees lately. So, Doug, what are your initial thoughts on this game here?
As you said, it's another tricky one to predict. I think Villa will be buoyed about the fact that Martinez and Buendia will be back for this game. Obviously, both of them were very, very naughty going to Argentina for that game against Brazil. And obviously, I think they weren't too bad against Chelsea in that first half. They were very, very good. Big ups to Leon Bailey, though. I think the highlight of the match for Villa, it wasn't obviously the result, but it was when he tracked back, I think 50 yards, managed to get the ball past Aspilicueta and then managed to nutmeg him. I thought that was absolutely fantastic. And I don't know, I don't know about you, but Tyrone Mings to me,
he's been disastrous, man. Tyrone Mings has, and you know what? I was trying to remember the player that Alain Saint-Maximin kind of roughed up when Newcastle. It was Tyrone Mings.
Yeah.
It was. I never seen something like that, man. And it's just in my head. Like Saint-Maximin did this. He dallied this way, dallied back that way, and just kept doing that to Tyrone Mings and crossed the ball. I was like, Jesus Christ. Mings has been horrible, bro. You saw he got nutmegged for the 3rd Chelsea goal, too. Nutmegged.
Yeah.
It's crazy, man. I don't know what it is.
Okay, to pardon the pun, but Mings has been minging.
He's been really bad. His timing has been very off, especially with that back pass to the goalkeeper there. And listen, for Villa having Stair in goal, that was pretty. It was difficult for them. They'll do a lot better with Emi Martinez back in the team and with Buendia back in the team, as you mentioned. But look, Doug, I have a question for you, man. This is a fun question, and I know the people in the chat would love this one. What would you do if Everton finished above Liverpool this season under Rafa Benitez? What would you do? How would you react?
I'd probably like struggle to take it in for like a couple of weeks and then probably like just scream. But Rafa has to be respected in what he's done. Like I think said it. I said it at the start of the season. Rafa Benitez has taken that job because it's probably his last major job in football. He's at an age now where he can basically go home to the world, retire. But to take that Everton job, it was a gamble. And maybe now some of the Everton fans who didn't want him are starting to, like him. But not all Evertonians are going to take to Rafa, considering he has had comments in the past, like calling them a small club and all this as well. But if Everton finished above Liverpool, because it's Rafa, I would accept it.
I thought you like go and like, what I mean, do something crazy, man. Like start a riot in you leave Scotland and go over to Liverpool and start a riot over there or something.
No. I'm not like that.
Oh man, but look, I would actually ask you a question about Aston Villa, but I don't want to talk about Villa too much when it comes to Liverpool fans. I might give you PTSD, you know what I'm saying? So I'm just gonna move right on to the insights, and I know, bro, I know the Villa joke is not gonna go away. It is not gonna go away. You should know that. Definitely should know that. So after a run that saw them keep 10 clean sheets in 17 Premier League games, 14 goals conceded, Aston Villa have recorded just 2 shutouts in their last 16 in the competition, 26 goals conceded. However, both of those clean sheets came in home games, including one against Everton in May. And a lot of these games, without Jack Grealish, of course, you know what I'm saying? I think Villa is still struggling to really play without Grealish, if I'm being for real. And look at how Grealish is playing for Manchester City. He's been big so far. And Pep has showed utmost respect to Grealish by starting him every time, which is crazy. But we got to take care of Jack, though. We don't want him to get injured, man, you know what I mean, and become like an Aston Villa. So Everton have lost just 2 of their last 17 Premier League away games, winning 10, drawing 5, with those defeats coming at Chelsea and Manchester City last season. The Toffees have recorded 7 clean sheets in their last 10 away games, as many as in their previous 33 on the road. Everton has been huge, man. Got to give it to them. What's your prediction for this one, Doug?
2-0 to Everton.
I'm actually going for a draw here, I'm going for a 2-2 draw. I think Aston Villa plays some good football. They have the players that could hurt Everton. And Everton also, could do the same. I think it's going to be a very open game of football. Very entertaining game. And I could see it ended in a 2-2 draw. So thanks for sharing your prediction for that one, guys. If you have any predictions, leave it in the chat. We'll definitely appreciate it. In terms of Villa, the next game will be against Chelsea in the 3rd round of the EFL Cup. Oh, man. Ooh. That's going to be good. In terms of Everton, the next match will be against QPR in the 3rd round of the EFL Cup, and then they play Norwich City. In terms of Villa, Premier League game, I forgot to share that one. They play Manchester United, then Tottenham. 2 tough games coming up for Aston Villa. What are you guys saying in the chat right about now? All right, so big up to Ankit, man. Say, okay, guys, keep it coming, prepping for mine. See you soon, and everybody in the chat. Guys, make sure, head on over to Ankit Almighty Blues FC. Ankit, what we actually going to do, I think I might actually raid your stream, bro. If you start by the time I'm done, we might actually raid you and come over to see what's going on. Okay, guys, so we're going to head on over to Almighty Blues FC, or you guys could head on over there when we're done with this stream. And yeah, we're going to try something. I haven't raided in a while. But we're going to move right on. Big up to everybody who left predictions. Javale O'Hara, how are you doing, bro? 2-1 to Villa. Bailey finally scores. Let's see how that one works out. And Elias is saying, I never understand why Mings gets called up for England and Tomori doesn't. Listen, man, Mings is not bad. I like Mings. He's aggressive and everything, but he's going through some things, man. Maybe he's having some girl problems or something. I don't know. But something's affecting his game big time. So we're gonna move on to the next game. We have three more to touch on. We're gonna run through these ones pretty fast. Brighton and Hove Albion versus Leicester City. Brighton with a 1-0 win over Brentford in their last game. Leicester with a 1-0 loss in their last game. The Seagulls versus the Foxes last season ended in 2 losses for Brighton, 2-1 win for Leicester at the Amex Stadium, and a 1-0 for Leicester at the King Power. Actually, Brighton only have 1 win in the last 10 games against Leicester, and that came in 2014, back when they met each other in the Sky Bet Championship. In terms of Brendan Rodgers versus Graham Potter, 2 British managers here, and Brendan Rodgers is not English, by the way, guys. He's from the Northern Ireland. He has 4 wins in 5 against Brighton, the same record against Graham Potter. So Potter has never picked up a win against Brendan Rodgers or against Leicester. And as a matter of fact, Brighton has never won a Premier League game against Leicester City, with 6 losses and 2 draws. Their home record, 1 draw, 3 losses. So look, it's going to be a long shot for them, but standout players for this game, the African midfielders, the Malian international Yves Bissouma versus Nigeria's very own, the Super Eagles' very own Wilfred Ndidi. You know what I was actually thinking, Doug? I was thinking if Ndidi does move on from Leicester City, if Man United decide to sign a player like Ndidi, right? Yves Bissouma would be a perfect replacement for Leicester City. I could actually see something like that happening. Do you see something like that happening now that I've talked about it?
Potentially, yeah. Yeah, I think that's a very, very good plan. I think Basuma is a very, very good player, and Ndidi is excellent. And I think Ndidi will move on eventually, and I think Basuma will move on eventually. But yeah, I think that's a good shout, that actually.
Doug, what are your thoughts on this game, Brighton versus Leicester?
Again, another tough one to call because Brighton have actually started the season very, very well. Leicester, although for the one for trying, I felt last week they created very little against City. I know they had the crossbar from Harvey Barnes. I know they had the offside goal from Jamie Vardy as well. But there's a big, big concern for me for Leicester. James Maddison, the former James Maddison. I think Maddison has been very, very poor recently. I don't know if the move to Arsenal was getting in his head or what, but I think that something seems to have affected James Maddison recently. So I think his position is potentially like under threat, a potential like a Kelechi Iheanacho if they would decide to change formation, or a Patson Daka. So I think Maddison might start tonight against Napoli, and then potentially might be rotated against Brighton. You just never know. But yeah, I think Maddison is a bit of a concern if I was a Leicester City fan.
Well said there. Well said. I got a question for you, man. Any chance that Brighton gets top 10 this season, Doug?
The only way that they will get top 10 is if they improve their home form. I think they had about 3 or 4 home wins last season. That's not enough. They need to make advantage of their home form for sure.
Well said. Can Leicester break into the top 4 this season after failing to do so in the last 2?
I think it's going to be very, very tricky. In fact, I actually think that the top 4 that was last season, I think will probably be the top 4 again this season.
We need something else. How boring, Premier League. Come on. We need Leicester into the top 4. We need Brighton in the top 10. You see what I'm saying? We need Arsenal maybe in 11th or something. Tottenham in 12th. You see what I'm saying? You know what I mean? We need things we need a shake-up. We need a little shake-up, man. So look, in terms of the insights for this one, I do have a couple of insights to share here. Some good ones. Brighton have lost their last 2 home league games against Leicester, as many as they had in their previous 8 against them, winning 3, drawing 3. They've never lost 3 in a row at home against the Foxes before. Leicester are unbeaten in all 8 of their Premier League meetings with Brighton, winning 6, drawing 2, the most they faced a side without suffering defeat in the competition. With 9 points from 4 games, this is the best start to a league campaign since the 2015-16 with 10 points for Brighton, and their best ever return at this stage of a top-flight season. Leicester have kept just 1 clean sheet in the last 10 Premier League games, winning 4, losing 5, and drawing 1, beating Wolves 1-0 on the opening weekend. Away from home, Leicester are without a clean sheet in 9 consecutive league games, though the Foxes have also managed to score in each of these 9 games. Leicester have had fewer shots than any other Premier League side so far this season, with 29. They averaging just 7.3 shots per game this season, over 5 fewer than they've had last season. So they've not been good in front of goal. Not a good start. 6 points so far. I just show you guys a table. Brighton are doing a lot better than them. Doug, what's your prediction for this one? And then we're gonna move on.
I think Leicester will win this one. I'm going to go 1-0 Leicester, and I wouldn't be too surprised if Jamie Vardy makes his 250th Premier League appearance with a goal.
Well said. I actually have a 2-1 win for Leicester City, though. 2-1 win. I fancy them beating Brighton. I think Brighton struggled in their last game there. Took a late goal by Trossard to pick up that victory. They are also a team that struggles in front of goal. But let's see if Graham Potter could prove us all wrong and get a victory to go up to 12 points. That would be a smashing start for Brighton this season, seeing that they're a team that always struggle to pick up points. If you pick up 12 in your first 5 games, you ain't got nothing to worry about in terms of relegation, man. I think they'll be fine. So in terms of their next games, for Leicester, they're actually playing Napoli today in the Europa League. So all the best to Leicester City. I always want to see Premier League teams do well in European competitions, with the exception of Manchester United. Just want to put that one out there. And oh my God. Then they have Millwall in the EFL Cup, and then Burnley next week in the Premier League. In terms of Brighton, their next game will be against Swansea. The Seagulls versus the Swans. That's a derby. Even though they are very far from each other in terms of geographic location. And then they play Crystal Palace next week. Another bird derby. Ooh. The Eagles versus the Seagulls. Isn't that a derby?
Yes, it is a derby.
That's a weird derby, like named after a highway or something, right?
Yes, M23 derby.
Yep. So look forward to that one. Doug, we're going to move on. We have 2 more games to talk about. We're going to hit those off in the next 15 minutes and wrap things up today. I think we've done pretty well because usually my live streams are like, almost 3 hours, but not planning to do that. And then we did one off on a couple of these games as well. West Ham versus Manchester United. Oh, man. United coming off of an embarrassing 2-1 victory, 2-1 loss against Young Boys. It was Young Boys that got the victory. And they did beat Newcastle 4-1, and Southampton held West Ham to a 0-0 draw. Not something really synonymous with West Ham these days, you know what I mean? 0-0 score lines, but still good. Still good to pick up a point here. In terms of last season between these two teams, Man United won 1-0. They even won 1-0 in the FA Cup after extra time, and they did beat them at the London Stadium 3-1. West Ham did manage to pick up a 1-1 draw at Old Trafford and a 2-0 win at the London Stadium. They even managed a 3-1 win back in 2018. So they haven't done badly against United, seeing that their previous form had been horrible. 50 all-time Premier League matches, 30 wins for United, 13 draws, only 7 wins for West Ham. They have 5 home wins in 25 matches against United with 10 draws and 10 losses. So not bad at all at home against Manchester United. Doug, what are your thoughts here? West Ham versus Manchester United here.
Interesting game ahead. West Ham will be without, obviously, Antonio, because obviously they got red carded against Southampton. So it'll be interesting to see if like a Yarmolenko or potentially a Jared Bowen starts up front. Man United, I mean, they have to bounce back. They have to bounce back. I have not seen any evidence in Donny van de Beek starting any other game for Manchester United. Like I don't know what it is with Donny van de Beek, but Ole Gunnar Solskjaer just does not fancy him. I actually wonder if he was a Glazer / Woodward signing instead of Ole signing. But he was shocking the other night, absolutely shocking. But yeah, United have to bounce back.
Do you think that's why they took him off, though? Do you think that's why he took him off? Or do you think he just made a... I think he should have left Donny on the field because things were good with Donny on the field. You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
When they took him off, it went downhill. I don't know what is wrong with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and his tactics. Seriously. It's like, I understand, right? I understand. Listen, hear this logic, right, that I don't get, right? Look at this. You take off Van de Beek to bring on Varane, right? But then you're making attacking substitutions where you take off Ronaldo and bring on Lingard. Why not take that opportunity to further part the bus and bring on Eric Bailly? You see what I'm saying? I'm just saying. If you want to go for the win late in the game, you'll have Bailly and these guys on the field. And if you want to, let's say, take off a Bruno Fernandes, bring on Matic, that's fine as well. But late in the game, when you take off Fred, when you weren't losing, and you bring on Martial, I'm like, the hell are you doing? You see what I mean? That could have been the move that lost them the game, you know? Even, we know Fred's not the greatest player, but he was a defensive presence. And if it was Fred would not have made that back pass that Lingard made. And I have a feeling that Fred would have been on that exact ball that Lingard passed back. I have a sneaky feeling. You know, I'm just speaking, you know, hypothetically, but still. I have a feeling that would have been Fred on the ball and he would have made a better pass. And United would have walked away with at least a point or go on to win the game in Fergie time. But we know what happened. And I'm going to just rest my case right there. Look, West Ham United are a dangerous team, but I think they got the work cut out for them coming up against a United team who has played very, very well on the road. Their road form is simply unreal. It's unrealistic the way they play on the road comparing to the way they play at home. Look, I have a question for you here. You know I have questions. Do you see West Ham United repeating or bettering what they did last season?
I think the way they've started, then you probably have to say yes. I think it's all about keeping Antonio fit, though. Yes, I know he's suspended for this game, and luckily it's for only one game. But the Europa League might, come to a little bit of. I don't know. The Europa League might hamper their league form potentially, but I'd like to see them do it. I'd like to see them do it. I think West Ham have done very, very well, and I think David Moyes has proven a lot of people wrong to get them to 6th place last season.
So don't you think with the signings of Alphonse Areola, right? Winston Reid coming back from his loan stint, a Kurt Zouma, you could talk about Vlasic, Nikola Vlasic there, brought over from the Russian league, and Alex Krall. Don't you think they've adequately beefed up their squad for that Europa League journey? Don't you think so?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I think they're in Zagreb tonight. I think as well. I'm actually looking forward to seeing them play. Actually, see how well they do. I hope they manage to do it. To get the victory. I know obviously Zagreb beat Tottenham 3-0, and their then manager was in jail. I don't know if they have the same manager now, but it'll be an interesting game actually for West Ham.
Yeah, I want them to do well. I would like them to do well. I like the freshness. You know what I'm saying? Not seeing the same old teams in the top 6 all the time. Look, big question. Should we believe the Cristiano Ronaldo hype? I know he started well, bagging that goal, and then he scored against young boys. Should we believe in the Cristiano Ronaldo hype, man? Seriously.
I mean, if he actually gets the golden boot, then he's done it again. But I can't see him.
Individual. I don't mean like individually. He's always gonna do well. You see what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
I
But
can't see him starting many games this season. I don't see him starting all of them, and
you,
I don't think he's going to get United a title. I really don't.
I see. So even though you didn't predict United to win the title before the transfer window ended, and they made moves for Cristiano Ronaldo, you still don't think they win the title with him.
No, no, and the reason
But
is Ollie.
oh, so it's not Ronaldo, it's Ole Gunnar Solskjaer.
Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Yeah,
I think he improves their chances, and we saw what he did against Newcastle United. To be completely honest, I'm being real. It would be a nightmare if they win it. You won't be able to shut him up for a very long time. Let's just put it that way. And the whole talk around Ronaldo coming back, and you won't be able to shut him up. It would make a great story, though. Let's keep it real. It would make a great story, but we won't be able to shut him up. Before we move on to Jadon Sancho, bro, what's going on?
I thought it was a weird signing. If I'm being honest with you, I don't think they needed Sancho.
I don't know, bro. He has not looked good in any game I saw him play. Not one. Not for once I was like, yeah, boy. Oh, man. God damn. Not one time. Sancho, right now, he's flopping, man. And it goes back to the thing I was talking about. He was a Manchester City youngster. I know he didn't play, but still. You see what I'm saying? Going for a player like that, going so hard, knowing that he was a City player, it's something that they want to prove. You see what I mean? Like, you didn't give him a chance. You didn't get the best out of him. Look at what we're going to do. You see what I mean? The Ronaldo thing. Ronaldo was linked to Manchester City, and then they went in. I don't know if he was ever going to sign for City in the first place, or if it was just all a freaking stunt. And it was just a whole plot by Ronaldo and everything to get United to come in for him and build up the big hype or whatever. But I got to say, United keep doing this every time. Look at Sanchez, linked to City. Pep wanted him, flopped. Look at Fred, flopped. You see what I'm saying? So, and I could talk about more players too, but these are just the most recent ones. The most recent ones. And who knows? I'm not saying Ronaldo would flop, but his transfer back to Old Trafford might actually not work out. See what I'm saying? And if we could learn anything from, maybe we could learn something from what happened last night, the night before. Young Boys 2, Manchester United 1 with Ronaldo in the team. So if Young Boys could pick up a victory, like, who says that a Newcastle, a Burnley, you see what I'm saying? A Crystal Palace, a Brentford can't pull off something this season. A couple of them. So, look, Doug, talk to me about your prediction, and we're going to move on here.
You can't see past United, unfortunately. I'm gonna predict 2-1 because of their away form. I think their away form is one of the best in the league. So I'm gonna go 2-1.
Yeah, Jesse Lingard should have actually been helping West Ham right now, but yeah, I'm gonna predict a 3-1 win for United. Maybe Lingard come off the bench and score and help his confidence. You know what I mean? Because he needs that.
Yeah.
Maybe Solskjaer should give him a start, or maybe that's throwing him out in the deep end too quick. So look, West Ham, they play Dinamo Zagreb today in the Europa League. So I like to say all the best to West Ham United, and the next game will actually be against Manchester United this time at Old Trafford in the EFL Cup. So let's see if they could win at least one of these games against United. Then they play Leeds United in their next game. As for Manchester United, I just talked about it. They play West Ham in the Carabao Cup this Wednesday. And the next game is against Aston Villa. So the last one, man. It's been a marathon. Not so much a marathon, but yeah, it's been long still. Look, big one. Spurs versus Chelsea. This one is huge. This one is a big one, man. Big London derby here. Palace 3, Tottenham 0. Chelsea 3, Aston Villa 0. Chelsea 1, Zenit St. Petersburg 0. And for Tottenham, today they play Rennes in the Europa Conference League. So let's just note that one. They play in the Conference League. Teams will be rotating their 11s, of course. So I don't know if it will affect their results this Premier in this match week 5. Not as much as we may think, not as much as they may say, because I know Tottenham are going to rotate big for this game. They might actually lose like they did against Pacos Ferreira in the opening game, because I don't see them risking the big guns against Rennes when you have Chelsea coming up this weekend in a crucial game where you lost the last one, fucking me up right now. The last London derby against Crystal Palace. You see what I mean? So This is just something to keep in mind. Chelsea have a bigger squad with more caliber on their bench. So it's a good one. I'm really looking forward to this one. Doug, what's your initial thoughts on Chelsea? Oh, matter of fact, let me just share this. Spurs lost to Chelsea last season, and it was a 0-0 draw at Stamford Bridge. And in terms of Spurs picking up wins against Chelsea, they have had some success. 2019 Carabao Cup semi-final there, and Premier League wins 3-1 back in 2018, and in April of 2018 as well, 3-1. So they have had some success, and they did beat Chelsea 6-5 on penalties in the Carabao Cup, where they went all the way to the final but lost to City. So, but this is a different Chelsea team, though. Doug, your thoughts?
Yeah, absolutely. I think Spurs were really, really poor last week against Crystal Palace. I was very, very surprised at how poor they actually were. Chelsea are going from strength to strength. Lukaku is scoring the goals, and he's doing very, very well for them. I actually just think the way that Spurs, Nuno started well with Spurs. It's whether or not they can bounce back after a heavy defeat like that. Obviously, Tanganga will be suspended for this game as well. I think Tottenham have got a bit of a tough afternoon ahead of them.
I do agree with you, man. I do agree with you. I have a good one for you here, Doug. When you Google the word trophy, do you see Tottenham anywhere in the 2022 results?
Maybe the Conference League.
Are you sure? Do you know there's Mourinho and Roma in the Conference League,
Yeah, that is.
And another thing to factor in, teams will be coming down from the Europa League into the Conference League. The teams placing third in the Europa League will be going down into the Conference League as well. So that is something to note. It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough.
It will be tough. Yeah.
Exactly, because remember, they'll have to keep Premier League matches in mind. They'll have to and I don't think they'll sacrifice the Premier League fixtures to win the Conference League. You see what I'm saying?
No, I don't think
because I think the max price to win the Conference League, you'll end up with about 15 million at the end of it. And that's chump change, you know what I'm saying, to Spurs. That's not like the Champions League where you end up with a lot of money at the end of it all. That's 15 mil. I don't think if they refuse 150 for Harry Kane, they'll leave that alone and keep it moving. Plus, you got to remember the FA Cup. You got to remember the Carabao Cup as well. These are competitions that they actually want to actually participate in. You see? Yeah. So I don't know, bro. I don't know. When it comes to trophies, Tottenham Hotspur don't come nowhere close. The closest they came, in my opinion, was that Carabao Cup final last season, and they sat Mourinho before they had to play it. And we know Mourinho delivers at least a trophy a season, man. You know what I'm saying? Well, at least a trophy per tenure. So I don't know. Look, I ain't got nothing. Yeah, I do have something on Chelsea, bro. Are you convinced Chelsea are winning the league? Are you any inkling that Chelsea are winning the league, bro?
I think the way they defended against us, they proved that they're working really well under Tuchel. But Chelsea have got a knack of having a weird result there and then, like Villa last season, West Brom at home. They always seem to have a result in them that you would least expect it. I think they'll just fall short because Lukaku can have goal spurts and he can be very, very misfiring in front of goal.
But if we've learned anything from what Lukaku has done so far, is that this man means business. You see what I mean? And I think that Tuchel has learned, and he's not like saying, okay, you know what? For the at least he hasn't done it yet, and he's not saying, okay, you know what, man? I'm gonna rest Lukaku for this one, and I'm gonna play Timo Werner, and then it costs him the game. You see what I'm saying? So yeah. I think Lukaku would have to stay fit as a fiddle. I think Thomas Tuchel would actually have to continue this great form that he's doing. I think he needs to, who knows, maybe mix it up a little, because sooner rather than later, he'll get figured out. You know what I mean? Don't trust Klopp and Pep and them guys. You know, Rafa Benitez is around. You know what I mean? These guys would figure you out very, very soon. Very, very, very soon. And I know Chelsea have had a great start to life in the Premier League, in the Champions League, under Tuchel as well. But you got to keep it fresh. You really got to keep it fresh. And they have to stamp their authority when they play the bigger teams. And against Liverpool, weren't able to do it. Let's see what happens against City, the 25th. Let's see what happens against United when they play United. Let's see what happens against Spurs this weekend. You know, so these are the games that Chelsea have to win. Let's see if they don't have mishaps against the promoted teams like what happened against West Brom. You know what I'm saying? West Brom has just been a team that troubled Chelsea last season big time. Let's see if that happens. Let's see if anything like that happens. We got to keep them in the conversation for now. We definitely got to keep them and show them that respect. So, look, man, in terms of the insights for this one, Tottenham, Chelsea. This is a very, very important. Tottenham have conceded more Premier League goals against Chelsea, 103, than they have versus any other opponent, while they've only lost more games in the competition against United in 36 than against the Blues with 31. Ooh, and that's in terms of head-to-head losses. Chelsea have won their last 2 Premier League away games against Tottenham, as many as in their previous 13 visits that included 5 draws and 6 losses. They last won 3 in a row at Spurs between April 2004 and August 2005. Tottenham have lost 4 of their last 6 Premier League London derby matches, winning 2. As many as they had in their previous 18. This is crazy, right? Yeah. 18 games combined. Spurs have lost their last 2 such games, losing 3 in a row. Well, that's London derbies in August 2005. The 3rd game of which came at home to Chelsea. Chelsea have won each of their last 5 away League London derbies. They've never won 6 in a row on the road before in their league history. Only twice before have Tottenham started a Premier League campaign with 3 home wins out of 3, doing so in the 2001 season and the 02-03 season. Spurs have won 8 of their last 10 league games at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, losing 2, keeping 6 clean sheets in that process. Doug, what's your prediction for this one? This is going to be a good one. What's your thoughts here?
I have gone for a Chelsea win, and I think they're going to have a clean sheet. I'm going 2-0 Chelsea.
Same prediction, bro. 2-0. excuse me, after what we saw there against Crystal Palace, where Harry Kane was non-existent in that game, I don't even understand. There was actually a stat that came out, and I'll get some stats for you from that game here. I get something. Look, I'll get something for you from this game. Tottenham Hotspur in that game, 2 shots at goal, 1 on target. Crystal Palace, 18 shots, 4 on target. Tottenham had 37% of the ball against a Crystal Palace. What you think will happen against Chelsea? What do you think will happen against Chelsea? You see what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
Listen, I actually think it's a mistake. Harry Kane made a big mistake. I know he feel a type of way watching Grealish playing for City and doing his thing. And I know he wanted to be professional and not push for the move. But you should have pushed for the move, bro. You should have pushed for the move. You know what I mean? You should have pushed for the move. Yeah, you know what I mean? He's being a big Tottenham fanboy because it's only fans. Fans are the only loyal people. No one else are loyal. Harry Kane, you're a Tottenham fan, and you want to stick around, and you're going to regret it at the end of the season. He was non-existent in the game. And there was an Outtro stat on Harry Kane. I think that was like the first time he had failed to take a shot at goal in like ever, if I'm not mistaken. I can't find the Outtro stat here on Harry Kane because I think I lost it. But let me just see if I find it. Outtro stats Harry Kane. Let me see if I could Google search this one and it pops up because this is very important. He has to show up. He has to show up against Chelsea, or else they don't have a chance. I think Tanganga would be a big miss. Nuno's style of play, I don't know, bro. He's not attacking. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He's not attacking at all. And Chelsea, we know, are more pragmatic. They're not very attacking as well, but they have a more balanced style of football. They play a more balanced style than I almost said Wolves than Tottenham. It's basically Wolves. It is basically Wolves. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It is basically Wolves with the different players there. But I think they're gonna get schooled. 2-0, and that'll be it in terms of predictions this week. In terms of games, Tottenham, they're playing Rennes in the Conference League today, as we mentioned. And the next game will be against Wolverhampton Wanderers in the EFL Cup. Then they play Arsenal, the big not London, I should say, derby coming up. Oh, man, that'll be a good... Listen, next week is good, Doug. We have Chelsea versus City. You have Arsenal versus Spurs. This one's going to be good. Ooh. Oh, my God. I get excited for these, though. You know what I mean? Because I want to get out some combine 11s and things like that, man. So, yeah. So, look, Doug, man, it was a pleasure doing this with you. I'm glad we got it done in a little bit over 2 hours. I was trying to actually get it done maybe an hour, 45 minutes, but we did good. You did well. Appreciate you joining me for this one today, and hopefully I get you back pretty soon. Big up to everybody in the chat. Great turnout. We got 140 people in here right now. That's a great turnout. Seeing that, you know what I'm saying? I'm just a little channel, you know what I'm saying? Little bitty, itty bitty channel, you know what I'm saying? You just got to keep it modest, though. But, Doug, what are your thoughts, man? How are you feeling?
Yeah, I'm feeling great. Thank you very much for having me. It's been an absolute pleasure to spend the afternoon and do the predictions, and hopefully we can do it again.
Well said, brother. You know, yeah, I just had to put on this Retro City kit, you know what I'm saying? Guys, I appreciate y'all, man. You know, when you talk football, Doug, we could have did this for 5 hours, but we ain't got that type of stamina, man. You know what I mean? We gotta save it for the wives, you know what I'm saying? So, guys, thank you very much for the love, the support. Make sure you guys smash the thumbs up button. How many likes we got? 56. You guys could do much better than that. Let me refresh this thing. I cannot believe. Only 50. Somebody on like as well. Guys, smash the thumbs up button. Let's get the stream up to 75 thumbs up while we have everybody in here right about now. Get it up. 75 thumbs up, man. 70 fizzle. Let's go. Let me see if my boy Ankit is actually live right now. Is he live? I don't even know. I don't even know if he's live. He said he was gonna go live, but I don't see him live. I don't see he's not live actually. What's going on, Ankit? You know what I'm saying? Unless I can't find his channel on my thing. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. But Doug, man, hope you enjoy the weekend. You know, have some fun. Yeah, Ankit isn't live until like 2 p.m., bro. He set us up. I thought he was gonna go live. I really thought he was gonna go live. But I feel like actually crashing somebody's stream right now. I see someone's live here. Elizabeth Helenek is live. I collaborated with her. She's live with Zach Jellub. She's getting all the big collaborations, you know what I'm saying? All the big collabs, Elizabeth. Anyways, won't be. I'm not crashing her stream though. Not. Anyways, Doug, it was nice. We're still live, you know. We're still live. Did you know that?
Yes, I did know that.
Yeah. Thanks again, bro. Guys, Doug's channel
Pleasure.
will be in the description box down below. Head on over to Doug and subscribe. Show him some love. Tell him Dominic Rich sent ya. So from your boy Doug and I'd like to say thanks for watching. Peace out. Rich Squad. Peace. Good one, Doug.